And as you noted, the OSCE documented a big increase in ceasefire violations, artillery
Exactly.
firing on the rebel held side. But do you think, based on what you observed of the positioning of Ukrainian troops, do you think that the threat of an imminent invasion or assault by the Ukrainian forces was real? Can you gauge that from how they were positioned on the other side of the front line?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we had reports, and those reports were available. I mean, during in the last couple of months. I mean, since last year, we knew that the Ukrainians were building up their forces in the south of the country, not on the eastern border with Russia, but on the border with on the contact line with Donbass. And as a matter of fact, as we can see, as we can have seen, we have seen that from the 24th of February, the Russians had almost no resistance in the start of the offensive, especially in the north. And so they could, what they have done since then, they could surround the Ukrainian forces in the southeast part of the country. That means between the two Republic of the Donbass and Ukraine mainland, if you want, and that's where the bulk of the Ukrainian forces are today. And they, according to that's exactly the Russian doctrine to fight. Operational doctrine. Their main offensive was on the south, clearly, because the objective stated by Vladimir Putin. We can probably come back on these into details later on, but this was demilitarization, and denazification. Okay, both objectives, in fact, were to be done or to be reached in the south of the country, and that's where the main effort of the offensive was done. In the offensive or the effort against Kiev is a so-called secondary effort. And he had two functions, basically. First of all, to put some pressure on the political leadership in Kiev, because the name of the game is to bring the Ukrainians to the negotiations. That was the first objective of this second effort. The second objective of this second effort was to bind or to pin down the rest of the Ukrainian armed forces so that they could not reinforce the main forces which are in the Donbass area. And that worked quite well. So that means that the Russians could surround as I said, the main forces, the bulk of the armed force, the Ukrainian armed forces. And once they have achieved that, they could withdraw some troops from Kiev. And that's what they have done since end of March. They have pulled several units in order to reinforce what they want, their own forces to carry on the main battle in the Donbass area. So now they have pulled these troops from the Kiev area, and these troops will now help to flank guard the offensive against the main forces in the Donbass. And that's what some call the mother of all battles. That is currently going on in the Donbass area, where you have, nobody knows exactly the number of troops, of Ukrainian troops. Estimates vary from 60,000 to 80,000 who are surrounded, and they will be the forces will be cut in smaller cauldrons and then destroyed or neutralized.